Hello and welcome to the panel. We are live from TVT studios in Lome. The world is changing in an era where a single tweet can spark national debates and an online trend can shape opinion, public opinion. Governments around the world, including our own, are grappling with how to manage digital spaces responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Before coming to the topic, today's topic, let's have an overview of national news, and it is with Abigail Genu.
The French capital welcomed the high-level conference on peace and prosperity in the Great Lakes region, a joint initiative between Togo and France, co-chaired by the President of the Council for Bienvenue and the French President Emmanuel Macron. Around the table, 70 delegations representing the United Nations, the African Union, the European Union, and several countries on the continent gathered to reflect on a collective response to the humanitarian crisis that is shaking the Great Lakes region. In his address, the President of the Council for Bienvenue pleaded for a sustainable and sovereign African response to the crisis. He invited African states to actively participate in the reconstruction and co-financing of development programs in the affected areas. For the President of the Council, the humanitarian emergency now calls for a sustainable and integrated response, and this response must be African. Humanitarian aid must become a lever of development and not a factor of dependence. Another strong axis of his intervention is the fight against the war economy which feeds the conflicts in Eastern DRC. The President of the Council has called for a legitimate and traceable economy in order to definitively break the link between illegal exploitation of resources and instability. Peace should not be a mere struggle in combat, but an economic transformation, a reparation for the peoples who suffer the wealth of their lands, he said. French President Emmanuel Macron saluted the vision and commitment of the President of the Togolese Council while announcing the mobilization of €1.5 billion. High school students, undergraduates, graduates, and influencers gathered for a meeting aimed at raising awareness about the challenges of protecting personal data in the digital age. The discussions helped participants better understand the importance of safeguarding their online privacy. Cybersecurity experts encouraged young people to explore privacy settings carefully and to think twice before sharing any information online. Through this initiative, organizers hope to build a society where respect for privacy becomes a shared value and a daily habit. Established by Law Number 2019-014 of October 29, 2019, the Personal Data Protection Agency is an independent administrative authority responsible for ensuring that the processing of personal data in Togo complies with the law.
Thanks to Abigail for this roundup of activities marking our country, Togo. Tonight we unpack with the complex intersection of technology, governance, and civic responsibility. With our panel of experts, we will explore how states justify their action online, what this means for citizens, and how we can build trust in digital age. Stay with us. This is a conversation that concerns every connected citizen. Tonight's topic is a big one, especially what concerning the balance between protecting national security and preserving freedom of expression, digital sovereignty and social stability, decoding states' action on social media. We have a fantastic panel of experts here to dive into this crucial topic. On my left, you have Ms. Berenice Hagbenyo. She is a student in cybersecurity. Please be welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, and on my right we have Mr. Kafu Atahunake. He's a national coordinator of Nouvelle Perspective.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's get right into it. For the first question, I want to turn it to Ms. Berenice.
Okay.
How can Togolese population engage responsibly with digital platform while maintaining peace and understanding the security imperative behind government's social media regulation?
Okay, thank you for the question and
Yes.
thank you for having me here.
Yes.
And for the question, before answering this question, let me share a story. I have a friend of mine who have been arrested for publishing a death of somebody. So the person actually was not dead, but he heard on Facebook that this particular person was dead. So he published it. He wanted to be the first person to publish the news.
Okay.
Then he was arrested, but thank to God, after 2 days they released him because they noticed that he didn't do it on purpose.
Okay.
I'm just sharing this story just to say, before we publish things, before we start sharing, before we start liking, we need to do something. Let us pause. Let us verify the information that we have. Let us see if the thing we want to share with the world actually is true. So my answer to this question, let us pause first, let us verify the information, and let us speak kindly to each other. You know, on TikTok, for example, answers can very, very quickly be turned in fights.
Okay.
So before you answer somebody, before you answer that comment, before you write that comment, just turn to yourself, ask yourself, is that worth it? So my answer to this question is pause and see if what you are about to do really, really is worth it. Thank you.
Ms. Afuata,
Yeah, I think she's right on her opinion over the subject. It's almost the same things. I always say you have to verify the source of what you want to share. And then when you are sure of the source, because some source may not be credible, some source may be out of disinformation, and then you have to be very careful about the source of what you want to share. And the second thing also is to be sure that it avoid what do you call it, inflammatory
yes.
information. Like, don't publish things that cause problem.
Okay.
Just be responsible enough to know what's the appropriate content you have to share
Yes.
when you are manipulating social media.
Yes. And I will stay with you. What are essential civic responsibility and security risks the population must comprehend regarding the use of digital platform?
Yeah, we have a lot of points to consider over that. We have, like, we should avoid hatred speech when we are actually manipulating our. We have to avoid the hatred speech and also respect people's privacy,
Yes.
because we have today a lot of regulation project or program that's today respect people policies that protect privacy.
Okay.
That is very important, because there are legal frameworks that today protects individual companies and even all kinds of institutions, their privacies.
Yes.
So we need to look very careful to that, because the legal framework make some restrictions over that, and there are data protection policies also that are very important to consider, so that we may not fall into law. Because if you miss or you don't know that there are regulations or there are principles attached to some of your actions, you may fall under the responsibility of the law.
And how transparent the government's measure to manage
Yeah,
these risks?
Yeah, the transparencies come from sometime in some countries we face the cases of sharing of reports, treating reports in some countries where government share annually the treating report to give what are actually in a year, what are the risks, what were the challenges that were faced during the whole year in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of other online security aspects. So those kind of things can also motivate, and also there can be some campaign, communication campaign that can be mostly done on through different channels to help people understand all the risk and the security aspect related to the online or social media manipulation. So that's all. Some
Thank
of the
you
point.
very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Do you have something to say?
Yeah, about the civic responsibilities, I will add to what Mr. Hunake just said. I will add that we should be respectful online. Okay, because sometimes we forgot to be respectful. We should be very, very respectful. We should avoid, as he said, we should avoid hatred speech. And as I said, if you see that what you are about to post, what you are about to say is not worth it, just don't post it.
Okay. And beyond the headlines, what should every citizen know about national security rationale for recent government actions concerning social media?
Okay, thank you for this question again. And as a student in cybersecurity, I'm well placed to know that your government is the highest institution above your data.
Okay.
Some people might say that they are not seeing them, they are not watching them, but let me tell you today that you are seen, you are watched. So the government, for the peace of the country, can take some measures. The government, for the peace of or the security of the country, can take some measure. For example, the government can slow down the internet just for the peace. If, for example, there is an attack or a hacker is trying to bomb in the security system of our country, the government is able to slow down or to shut down the internet. And also, if the government decide that we need to preserve our peace, we need to be more secure, and right now the right way to do is to shut down the internet, they can do it. But the thing I want to add is that for peace and transparency, the government can tell the population what is about to happen. For example, the government can say, for the next 5 months, Togolese, we are sorry, but for some reasons, we will not allow people to go to TikTok. We will not allow people to go to Facebook for the next 5 or 6 months. Or the government can also say, we have some troubles with our data. Togolese have troubles with their data, so we are taking measure. Because of those measures, you will see that the internet is slow those time.
Yes.
Thank you.
And let's remain in internet slowdown and blocking access. And what are the legal and technical justification for measures like internet slowdowns and blocking access to platform?
The legal and the justification are very, very much. But let me just say that, as I was saying, the government is the highest institution, and the government works with laws. And laws in cybersecurity, laws in the government as the constitution, for example. So those laws can allow our government to take some action that we might not want or we might not love. So talking about the regulation, I would say the laws in cybersecurity, for example, allow a government to take any action to protect his people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. And please, Mr. Hunake, what are the documented instances of hate speech, disinformation, and cyber mobilization that genuinely threaten Togolese stability?
Okay, we have the mostly disinformation. Disinformation is one of the major points because when we talk about disinformation, is things that can be created as truths that can be manipulated, the manipulated truths that can be like the case, the example, or I'm just taking like the example of my dear sister just shared now when she was saying that someone published somebody else death saying that he's dead, and then the, the presumed dead man finally went and sued the person at the court saying, this man is actually profiling or declaring that I'm dead when I'm alive. So those kind of things are what we call disinformation. So one of the points about that is disinformation.
Okay.
Yeah.
This question is going to both of
Yeah.
you. And how does the government balance national security with the right to freedom of expression and information? And what recourse do citizens have?
Okay, for this question, I would like to add that citizens have the right to ask what is happening. Okay, citizens have the right to say we are not getting what you are doing with us right now, so we are asking in all respect your explanation to us.
Okay.
So the government might say for today there will be no internet, for example, again, and the citizen will say we are not okay with that. You should tell us
Okay.
what is happening, what actually is the problem.
Okay.
And then the government should take a step forward and say we don't want to share too much detail, but let us tell them what is actually happening. So those are, the things that the government and the citizen can do to maintain peace in our community.
Yeah. I will say that during crisis, it's very important for the government to take responsibilities, because government assure major way the security and the wellness of populations. So when we talk about government actions in terms of security, government has to take decision and take things that can protect the nation, protect the population, and also help the entire nation to live at peace or to remain in a peaceful way. So during that process, it's mostly prohibited to some actions can be taken in terms of crisis, and especially during election period. When there is election in every country in the world, there are restrictions and there are fundamental measures that are taken by the government to ensure that sensitive moment should not be damaged, or things should not turn over.
Yes.
So it's a kind of responsibility that we can refer to a man in a house that in the courtyard he discovered that there's something's going wrong. What to do to keep your house at peace? You need to take responsibility. Otherwise, when the outsider will come, they will blame you for not acting properly. That's it.
And what are the concrete steps citizens might take to become responsible digital users?
Okay, for the steps citizens might take to become responsible digital users, we should educate ourselves, because I'm very passionate about education. I'm very, very passionate about education. So I think citizens as me and you, we might take steps to educate ourselves about how to use efficiently our social media, and we should verify our information. As I was saying earlier, we should always verify everything we wanted to share. And for the government part, we should be able to ask, to say what we want to say, but please in every kind of respect of the law and of the people.
Yes. As especially in cyber security, with the evolution of the artificial intelligence, what do you say about this related to today's topic?
Okay, I can say that today in today's world, artificial intelligence is very, very efficient. Like you can see a video and not even know that it is the artificial intelligence that created it.
Okay.
But before seeing those kind of video, we have the reality world. And to my friends creating those videos, let us be genuine. Let us create videos that can help our country. Let us create videos that can help us keep our peace, but also help us develop our country. And for my population, I would say while seeing those kind of video, look out for the voice.
Okay.
You know, most of the time the voice are not human, you know,
Yes.
100% human voice. You should always look out for some movement. You know, they don't work as humans.
Okay.
So you can notice this is artificial intelligence.
Thank you very much. Mr. Munake,
Yeah.
as a last question, I want to
Okay.
turn it to you. What are the long-term educational strategy
Yeah.
needed to foster peace and security in the digital space?
Yeah, on that, I think we have first of all to integrate the media education and also the media education and information into our curricula in the school,
Okay.
at the school, because we have to get those information from the basic class, and then also we need to work on the critical thinking as well,
Okay.
thinking aspect, and also helping others to understand the rights, the legal framework around digital use is very important, because that's where all the mess start from.
Okay.
And also we need to also initiate people into verifying sources, how to check the source of what I want to share, what I'm going to share on the social media, how can I verify the source of it, the credibility of the information I want to share with my colleagues or with my friends.
Yes.
So that's one of the very important things we need to look at.
Thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
coming.
You're welcome.
And in 1 minute, I want to hear both of you
Okay.
give your last words.
Okay, my last word will be to preserve peace and to preserve our security. We need an educated population. We need to open doors for education, and then while opening door for education, also opening door for truthful information. So that will be my last word. Education is the key, and truthful information preserve peace and security.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Munake?
Yeah, I would like to say that digital sovereignty does not prevent from what we call respect of other privacy.
Yes.
We need to know that the legal framework has to be considered in everything we do,
Yes.
because from there we can live at peace, and we can keep our brothers and sisters in the same environment of peace.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. As we heard tonight, digital sovereignty and social stability are two sides of the same coin. The challenge is not choosing between freedom and security, but finding the balance that protects both. A big thanks to Ms. Berenice Agbenyo and Mr. Kafu Ata Munake for sharing such a valuable insight. And to you, dear viewers, thank you for joining us. Have a good evening and goodbye.